Welcome to Duke United Show, and it's the preview to the big one, Manchester United versus Man City. I'm here, Nathan Ellington, joined by Garf Lewis, as always. How you doing, Garf?
Good, mate. Good. Looking forward to tomorrow. Excited for the first time in, 3 years for a Manchester derby. So, yeah.
It's going to be a tough one. We've just watched the presser with Erik ten Hag and talking about the players who's out, players who are in as well. So we obviously got to rethink our starting lineups. Number one, we have got a special guest coming on, hopefully. Kevin Parker, you know who he is. He was here last time for the City game. So he was obviously buzzing after that. Let's hear what he's got to say when he comes back. But until then, we're going to go for a bit of the info, obviously the background of both clubs and see what's what. So let's dive straight into Man City and their league position. Man City's league position, they're obviously second. 17 games played, 12 wins, 3 draws and 2 losses. And actually, it's funny enough that last season, the only difference between this season and last season and their results after the first 17 games is 1 draw more and 1 win less. So there was 1 game where they scored and won. And look at Arsenal. Arsenal are on 44 points. So even if you had a carbon copy of Man City's last season, they still wouldn't be in first position. They were top last year, but this year it's not enough. So it shows that the players have done a lot. Arsenal have done an amazing job to be where they are right now. As you can see, if you took a look at the what they've done, there was a win, a loss, a win, a draw, and a loss and a win. So they are on good form, even though in my mind I feel like they're not playing as well as they should be. But look, man, it's City. It's City, Garf. Here's their last results. Tell me what you think. Look, free-flowing goals. What, 6, 7? How many goals is that? 4, 6, 7, 8, 11 goals in the last 5 games, Garf. Are we got to be still on our guard or what?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. After yesterday's show with Alex obviously saying that she'd play Fred, I sat down and really thought about it, and I was like, do you take out that creative Eriksen for the Bosch or Fred? And I think I kind of decided that maybe you do actually in this game. And maybe you do. Maybe you don't go at them. You know what I mean? Maybe you don't try and control the game. You do try and go a bit old school. And I hate to say it, a little Solskjaer-esque counter-attacking football. Yeah. Break it up in the middle from them and go for it. But yeah, it's Man City, man. As I said yesterday, I think because of Arsenal doing so well, we're all thinking that Man City are dropping off. That they're not. This is just Man City. It's just the fact that Arsenal are ripping it up, mate. So, yeah. I still think we can beat them, but then the last results just proves to you they bag goals, man, for fun. Like, if they get their full strength, like the Southampton game, I know it wasn't a weak team because it's Man City, and but it wasn't the strongest Man City team. It's a cup game. Anything can happen on a cup. You know it can. So, I think, I think it's going to be a real tough game, man. And it's going to be one of them old school Ferguson games where, like you used to say, we'll win as long as we score more than they do. So it's as long as we need to score goals big time and just hope we score more than them. Because I can't see a clean sheet. I don't know about yourself. Can you see a clean sheet for us in this game?
No chance is there a clean sheet in this game. And this is the thing. We've come a long way, but we cannot think we can step to them. I know that's the headline for the game, but I don't think we're ready to step to them like that. If you mean like, let's go head to head. We attack, you attack, and let's see what happens. No. He's got to realize, listen, we ain't ready for that yet. We ain't as efficient as them yet, where if you attack and you score, we'll attack and we'll score. We'll probably attack and not score, and then they'll attack again and score. So we've got to be, like you just said there, Fred, with Casemiro in there, that might be what we just need. Like, we're not going to have possession at Old Trafford. Even though it's Old Trafford, we're not going to have the majority of possession, even with Casemiro in there. So let's try and be dogged. Let's try and be hard to beat. And then Fred has actually shown that he can play in that middle position where he can get forward a bit more as well. And he can rat around. He can get around every player. And I think that's going to be the difference. I think if he plays, he might actually be the difference between us. Like, we're going to not have possession anyway, like I said. So if we don't have possession, is Eriksen and Casemiro in there going to work better? I don't think so. Not for this game. The one game of all games, I think this is the one where you might want to say, you know what, Fred, go in there and do a job, lad. Let's just rat around and challenge them. Because look how they play. Take a look. You got Ederson in goal. Look, they're I don't even know what mad formation this is. Like, what is this? This is what they did last game against Chelsea. They just spread right out and said, listen, guys, just attack and go and win the game. Don't care what formation you played. That's what it looks like. Rodri, Bernardo in the middle, Foden out wide, Cancelo pushed right up, Gundogan and De Bruyne feeding Haaland. And that's just ridiculous. Like, who plays that kind of formation? Only this guy. And I know he's trying to play mind games, trying to say I got something ridiculous for Man United. He's never really said anything stupid like that before. But I wouldn't put it past him to do something ridiculous. But what is ridiculous nowadays with him? I don't know what.
Yeah, that's what they were saying in the comments, isn't it? Like making jokes in the comments last night. Like, what are they going to do? Put Ake up front or play two goalkeepers or something? All of that aside, the Pep got, he's trying to mind games. I don't think that'll phase Ten Hag. I think Ten Hag will go into it with his formation, with his style. I don't think much will change apart from maybe in the centre. You know, I'd still keep Bruno because of his, again, ratting about ability in the AM centre role. You know what I mean? Yeah. I just think we keep our heads down and don't worry about what City are up to, period. You know what I mean? Until the team sheet, obviously if the team sheet comes in and he's playing some madness like 2-1-7 formation or something, then like we'll think about changing it. But before then, nah, I don't think he's trying to get into maybe even just the fans' heads that City are going to come out and do something different. I don't see what. Exactly what you just said. Look at that team, mate. You've got Gundogan and Cancelo high up on the right, so who knows? I don't see him coming with that formation though, Nate. Like that would be madness. If they turn up with that, I'd be much more confident. Yeah, I'd be confident, mate.
Yeah. So let's take a look at their top scorers because, as we know, Erling Haaland is way out in front with 27 goals already. He's got 3 assists as well. Foden is on 9 and Alvarez is on 7, I believe. So they're doing really well with the goal scoring. Well, not really too much spread out, but Haaland
is he really on 27 already? My word, mate. What is going on?
And he's been quiet the last few games as well. It's weird, man. It's weird how he's like that, man. But look, we have to keep this guy quiet. We don't want to give chances away. We have to stop the ball getting to him. Like, let's not try and challenge him when he's on the ball. Let's just stop the ball getting to him because I don't really see him as an actual football player in terms of being able to do much on the ball apart from score goals for fun. So don't let him get the ball in the box where he can shoot or head the ball. Just don't let it happen. And I think other than that, let him try and do link-up play because I don't mind that. I don't really think he's particularly great at that. He's just an absolute beast. He's a steam train coming down pitch. Like, you put the ball near him while he's on the move. Listen, get out of my way. It's over. So let me have a quick look.
It's weird. It's weird to say it now because I was having this conversation with my mate. He turned around to me and he was like, "Who's the best striker in the world at the moment?" I was like, "Probably Haaland." No, I said Mbappe first. He's like, "Mbappe's not a striker." I was like, "All right then, Haaland if you want." He was like, "So Haaland has to be the best player in the world then because the best striker is always the best player in the world." And I was like, "Absolutely not, mate. Haaland is a great goal scorer. If he's talking like the whole package of a player." He doesn't need anything else. But he doesn't. Like, so I'm not disparaging him in any way. He doesn't need anything else. But he isn't an Mbappe. He isn't a Ronaldinho. You know what I mean? He's just an absolute bags man. I can't believe how many goals he's banging away. I wish we'd got him, mate. Like that's one of the biggest. That would be one of the biggest things that we made wrong there. Well, we were meant to get him, weren't we? Solskjaer was apparently there was a lot of conversations, and we just didn't want to spend the money, mate. So
look, I don't know. I think it was due to our position where we went in the league that season, and then all of a sudden it's like, listen, I ain't going there. They're not even in the Champions League. What the hell? I ain't going there at all. I would have went. I was gonna go, but nah, no chance. City winning the league, I'm off, mate. But look where we are. We are 4th. We are same points as Newcastle with a game in hand. So if we win this game, we finally go above Newcastle. Even if we draw, we will be above them where we deserve to be. I believe we should be ahead of them because they're not better than us. We've got great form. 1 loss in the last 5, 4 wins on the trot as well. We're flying. We're actually flying. We've got a +7, but look, we've let in 20 goals. Okay, that was for the blip, you know, right at the start of the season. We didn't really. If we didn't have that, we'd be right up there. But again, there's no.
Well, you think about it. We let in 10 goals in 2 games against City and Brentford, 4-0 and 6-3. So you're like. Yeah, that's really damaged us. Them results really damaged us, not just on points, but on that goal difference as well, man. You know what I mean? And listen, I've been saying this way. If we do beat Man City tomorrow, that's title challenge on. I know we shouldn't be talking about it, but we need to be thinking about it. Yeah,
we're in there. You can't do. Yeah. What can you say? If we're right next to them, it's a title challenge. Even though it's early doors, we're in there and we've beaten them. And that's the other thing. If we beat them, that means we're good enough to get there. If you get what I mean. Yeah. We don't beat them, obviously, and then we get near them somehow later on. We're like, yeah, whatever. But right now, you know, okay, 1 second. TCCC says, quick question for the Duke. Celtic or Rangers, did you ever nearly sign for either or any Scottish side? You know what? I got to tell you, I was, you know, it's weird because when you choose one, innit? You just choose one. And when I was younger, I did choose Rangers. But I did like, obviously Larson coming from Celtic and that. So look, sorry man, I don't know if it's sorry or whatever. But
so I was just thinking, a loaded question, mate. Whenever I'm asked that, about go Motherwell, you know what I'm saying? But I was a big Brian McClare fan, mate. So Celtic fan.
My friend Bilal Mojni. So I played with him at Ipswich, and he went to Rangers once. You know, when they went down, and he helped them come back up. So yeah. So that's another reason why I would still remain on the Rangers side than the Celtics. So yeah.
Oh, we're gonna have a conversation about that, then, mate. We're gonna Celtic over here, mate. So.
No. But yeah.
Quick.
Sorry, 1 second. Let me just quickly go through this bit. Last 5 results, you can see we've beaten Charlton 3-0, beaten Everton 3-1. Bournemouth got a slapping as well, 3-0. We beat Wolves away 1-0, and we beat Nottingham Forest. Games we should win, games we expect to win. This is the one now where it is massive. We have played the same formation, 4-2-3-1, and this was the last formation played against Bournemouth in the league. So this is the last league game. Wan-Bissaka played, Maguire played, Lindelof, Shaw. You got Casemiro, Ericsson, and you got Bruno on the right, which Alex was saying that she'd probably want to see him out there. I don't understand why, but maybe it's, you know, changing things up to hopefully be a bit better. I don't know. Yeah. But I can't see it happening. But, you know, Erik ten Hag's Erik ten Hag, isn't he? So, but take a look at our top scorers, Garf. Mr. Rashford is way out in front. Let me just move this thing out of the way so we can see exactly what's going on here. Mr. Rashford's way out in front with 15 goals. He's got a 30% conversion rate to his shots. That's great. Martial's slightly ahead with the conversion rate, but he's on 5, and so is Anthony. So Anthony's just moved in to the top scorers list because it was Bruno on 4. Anthony is now on 5. And you know what? Come to think of that, well done. Well done to Anthony for being in there, because that's a good... he's got a great record at the moment. 5 goals in what? 12 games, whatever? For a
16
winger.
now.
Whatever games it is, I don't even care. As a winger...
1 in 3, mate, yeah.
Yeah, if he gets 10 goals at the end of the season, I'll be buzzing. He's made his contribution that he needs to be. And like I said before, if he cuts in now and starts crossing balls in for the Verkos, I think he might get a few more assists as well by doing it that way. So yeah, I think we might see a bit more strings to his bow because we have a big man in there, and that's what he's used to at Ajax. What would you say?
I hope so. No, I was just going to quickly, the final point, which is still Man City. What I don't want to see is people. I don't want to see fans on Twitter and fans being disappointed if we do lose, like it's all over. We're on a great run of form. We're playing one of the best teams in the world on their day, possibly the best team in the world. If you're just looking at their personnel on the pitch, with one of the best managers in the world, if not the best manager in the world, some people would say in this current climate. You know, but so I don't think we can take. If we win, it's a real marker for where we're coming from and where we're going. If we lose, it doesn't really mean anything. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? But like, we shouldn't read too much, unless we get tonked 7-0 or something. You know what I mean? We shouldn't read too much into a defeat if it does happen.
I can't say there. You know what? I can't see if we get battered again. That's where you start going back to the drawing board, guys. We still need to wait for any more players, but and a part of me feels like we're not there yet, and that this can happen again. Because it felt like we were helpless for them goals. It's like there's nothing we could have done. Man City scored some brilliant goals. I'm like, wow, how could we have stopped that? Like, you can't stop that Haaland goal from De Bruyne. That De Bruyne ball, right round the corner, round the backside, that was ridiculous. So I don't think that's going to happen. That you can stop that. You just have to stop De Bruyne getting on the ball, and that's where Fred comes into play. You need to get him right around him so he hasn't got the quality the time to put that quality kind of ball in. So that's me. Go on.
Yeah, no, exactly. This is what I was saying. Exactly. When I sat down and thought back properly about Fred, I can see the reason why. And my excuse for not doing it was to attack Man City from the start. But that might be a really silly idea. Everything I've just said suggests there's a really silly idea. They've got one of the strongest teams in world football. If De Bruyne gets space, if Rodri gets space, their passing accuracy is a joke. Gundogan is a joke. Everyone on their team, Foden, everyone is a master ball player. So realistically, we want to close them down, quick, high press, pressing everywhere, getting in their faces, and especially, like you're saying, their main creative players, their De Bruyne's, their Fodens, and especially Haaland, just in his face.
Let's just not get battered, Frank.
Yeah.
Marriott, Frank Marriott says, it's so true. Let's not get battered, and let's hope to get a win. Like, we still got and we're at Old Trafford, mate. So, and we're up there.
Oh, you can still see it, yeah.
Yeah, so why not? Why are we not going to go for that? If I'm remind me what your prediction was. Was it 2-1 as well? Was me and you on the same?
2-1 United.
And
I was 2-1 United, mate.
Didn't you?
Yeah, I'm going. Yeah, I know it doesn't work for the game, but I'm going Rashford bagging 2, mate. That's what I'm doing there, mate.
It works.
Yeah.
But the only thing that I will say now is, since the tour Ten Hag presser, we know who's not playing for sure now. So, and they were part of our team. So this is the problem. Who comes in?
I won't lie, Nathan, I didn't see the presser, mate. So enlighten me on what's going on there.
Yeah. So currently, Delo is definitely out.
Definitely right.
Yeah, he's definitely out. Martial trained today, but we're not sure if he's going to be available. Let's see how he reacts to training today. It's only something small, but we will see tomorrow. If not, he's definitely ready for next week. And then you've got the Vargas. He's not available. He's not available for the game tomorrow anyway.
I didn't think he would be.
He won't be in the side. So we definitely have to think about what we're going to do here. RH says, Frank, Man City aren't playing the best. I think you can beat them. United can do this. Good chance. Man City's offense there for the taking. Either way, believe. You know what?
Yeah. Speech. I like it, mate. That's like a Braveheart speech. You got me there, Raj.
Raj, that's Raj, isn't it? That's my friend.
Yeah, that's my fault. Yeah.
Close game. I have United doing the job tomorrow, hopefully. And only because he's Arsenal supporter as well.
Arsenal fan, you can hear it, couldn't you? You can hear it in that message.
He's dreaming already that we're going to beat them and make a bigger space for them to run away with the league. But nah. So he's out and Virgos is out. So for me, the natural person to go up front would be Rashford. And the natural person to come in is Garnacho because he's playing so well. I can't see him changing that. I can't see him not doing that with that.
I can't see any other option, Nath. I can't see any other option than exactly that. Anthony on the right, Rashford through the centre, Garnacho on the left. I don't want to see Elanga anywhere near this starting team. You know, I mean, look, I like Elanga. I think he's a good squad player, but I don't want to see him starting in front of Garnacho.
No chance.
Yeah.
Football fitness, where are you, lad? Jump in, lad. Jump in. If you can get on the show, come on in, mate. Frank Marriott says John Stones is I hear he's out. That's great news.
That's good news.
Rachi through the middle and a surprise with Palestri getting a start. I don't know if that's too soon, but I don't think it's start. But I definitely feel that that's going to change. Wan-Bissaka jumped straight in it right back then, doesn't he?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, I believe that too. So you've got De Gea in goal, Shaw left back, Martinez, Varane, and Wan-Bissaka. You've got Casemiro and Fred we're going to go with, yeah?
Yeah.
And Bruno in the hole, Garnacho left, Rashford up front, and then you're putting Anthony on the right. I think that's a good enough side. But really, the only one thing there is we're saying we're going with Fred, yeah? But I can't see Eriksen sitting down on the bench. I just can't see him sitting on the bench. For some reason, I just can't see it happening. I think he's going to stick with the whole team.
I can see it. I can see him sticking with his. Listen, this is one of them really hard scenarios, Nathan. I mean, I managed like a very low level team, like a semi-amateur team, and even then, like it's hard to take apart a team that's winning every game, even though you know you should because of the upcoming opposition. What do you do? Eriksen's been magnificent for us. So sit on the bench, mate. Exactly the same. And you're like, mate, well, you don't trust me then. Like this is the biggest game of the season. I need to shine. I don't know if that was like it for you as a pro, mate. You know what I mean? Like this, I want to shine in this game. I want to play in this game. So I can see him starting with our normal team, mate. Hey. The muscles from Manchester.
Big man,
Guys,
James.
Yeah. Yes,
Go.
James.
How are you doing, Dave? Garf, you all right?
Great,
Yeah,
mate. Great, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, good man. Can't complain. How's your Wi-Fi today, Nate?
I guess it's all right. As long as I can't tell,
All right.
I couldn't even tell last time. So hopefully, hey, wait a minute.
I will be screenshotting that at some point when I can be bothered to go through and find it, Dave. Just so you know, mate.
Got it as well, so I'm gonna send it through to you. You can do what you want with that. So, James, how are you feeling ahead of the game tomorrow? Because obviously we were just talking about. We know we're playing. We're on good form. We know City are also on good form, even though they've lost a game. And also, there's this feeling that they're not playing as well as they are, as they have been. But really, their results say different. Maybe on the eye when you're watching them, they're a little bit different in terms of how sharp they are. But going into this game, are you feeling really confident that we can get a win or just something out of the game? You know, what are you edging towards?
I'm really confident, mate. I genuinely think we can get something out of the game. Like, there's various reasons why. I think if you look at City's last 7 away games, they've scored 5 goals, and 3 of them came against a weak Leeds team. So in the other 6 games, they've only scored 2 away goals. They're now coming up against Varane and Martinez, who are up there with the best centre-back partnership in the world. They're coming up against Casemiro, who is up there with the best CDM in the world, and they're coming up against an informed Marcus Rashford. And listen, obviously it's going to be a very different City than the one that faced Southampton. You're going to have Ederson coming back, Diaz coming back, De Bruyne and Haaland starting, etc. So they're obviously going to be a threat, and that you can never write City off. And they may be slight favourites for the game, but if you look at United's last 18 games, 15 wins, 2 draws, 1 defeat. We've only lost once since the City game. Why can't we win? I'm all confident, mate.
So what's your team going into this then? What do you think Ten Hag's going to do? Because we were just thinking about what he's going to do in midfield. I think it's obvious what he's going to do at right back. But in terms of in the midfield where it could be won and lost, Casemiro didn't play the last game. He is going to play this game. But then who partners with him? And does Bruno go in the hole? Or does he do something different that we've not seen? What do you think?
Yeah, I think there's 2 options. I think there's the option that we've seen already, which is probably De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Shaw, Varane, Martinez, Casemiro, Eriksen, Bruno, Rashford through the middle, Garnacho and Antony. I think that's scenario number 1. I think there's also another scenario if he wants to flood the midfield where he could play Casemiro, Eriksen and Fred and then play Bruno on the right. If he wants to flood the midfield, he could do that quite easily if he fancies Bruno instead of Antony in this game. He just thinks he'll get a bit more out of him. He could do that. And he could also bring Fred in for Eriksen. I'm a big believer in playing Fred in this game. I think you need to get about them. I think he can win the ball high up and set Rashford away. I know Eriksen kind of got bypassed in the first game. So it's going to be really interesting, the team selection. I think the back 5 basically picks itself with Dalot being injured. And then from there, obviously Rashford starts. But apart from that, and Casemiro starts and Bruno. But the other 3 slots are kind of up for grabs.
So let me just throw this out to you 2 then, because as we're talking about this, I'm thinking we're forgetting about Scott McTominay, because he's the main destroyer out of him and Fred, the main one who gets about and actually muscles players the ball. I wouldn't pick him there, but is there any conversation about McTominay taking that Fred spot instead for either of you?
Go on, James. I'll think about it after you've said it.
For me, based on what Ten Hag has done in the past, I don't think there is. Ten Hag is very much if you're playing well, you keep your spot. And I think Fred has been his go-to man in the last 3 games. He started one of them. He came on in 3 substitute appearances before that. He was very good in all 4, to be honest. I thought he was very, very good. I think he can impact the game. I think you need his energy. When McTominay's played, especially against, was it Charlton the other night, he kind of went missing a little bit, didn't really show for the ball, didn't look up for it. He's looked off the pace when he played with the young lads in Spain in the 2 friendlies. So for me, there's no argument there. Like, McTominay was performing well earlier on in the season, but Fred's performing better now. So for me, it's Fred over McTominay.
Yeah, so just thinking about that, definitely. That's the thing. When McTominay's had a bit of a stinker in the last game, to be fair. So when you look at it like that, you're not going to play him over Fred. And to be fair, I think Fred will go in there. He deserves to be in there. He's playing well. He's playing well coming off the bench. And it seems like he's just like, I don't mind. If I'm coming off the bench, I'll do my job and I'll do the job well. And it seems like he's got a little bit less pressure on him than starting games. But again, let him start this game. He's played his way into the position to be able to, and I think he should. And even Big Ben says, I believe we need two CDMs in this, two DMs in this match, Casemiro and either Fred or McTominay. I say Fred. Lee Williams says, Fred will be pressing more in the final third. We don't want to give free kicks away around our box. Just drop Bruno back a shade as he has that work rate. Yeah, so look, we know that we're not going to have as much possession as we normally do. But again, we should be able to counter-attack them. And Southampton proved that the other day. They still played a lot of their first-team players, and they had a lot of joy going forward. So that's given me a little bit more confidence because we are on our game. Rashford is on his game. Anthony's a threat scoring goals. And you've got Casemiro there sweeping things up and moving the ball quickly. So, yeah, James, I'm confident as well. I'm starting to feel more confident as it gets closer to the game. I was feeling a little bit, but now I'm getting there. I
think there's one key difference to the Southampton game, though, Nate. If you look at it, they had one key player missing, and that was Edison, and they played Ortega instead. And the thing that Edison brings to the team is if you press them high up, he can ping a 50-yard ball over the top. If you lay off them, then he'll play out from the back. So I don't think that pressing game that Southampton played necessarily works with Edison in the team because he just pings a ball over to you and they're away. He cuts out 5-6 players and they're done. So I think he's massively important to the way they play, just like Alisson is for Liverpool. I think he gives them a variety of ways to play and he makes them very, very hard to play against. So using the Southampton model, although I'm obviously happy they got knocked out and we've got a much better chance of winning the cup, I don't think the Southampton model is the way forward.
Yeah, I didn't think that. I just felt like the way they were getting opened up by the counter-attack at times was lovely to see. They actually could get some joy. And I think we've got good players, the players who are in good form to be able to make that count as well this time. And then,
no John Stones either.
Yeah,
which is big because he's been their best defender all season. So that's big.
Yeah, so that's another thing. And I feel like Walker's not as powerful as he's always been in the past either. I feel like he's starting to finally look human again in terms of pace. So it's not yet, but he's getting there. So Big Ben says this is a game we could do with a fit Sancho to have a go at Walker, who for me isn't the player who just exactly what I said. Didn't even realise. But look.
Yeah, but Garnacho going at him is just the same, mate. You know what I mean? That must be terrifying, mate. Yeah.
I'm saying 2-1. I've got Rashford and who did I have? Rashford and I can't remember who I said. Rashford and Anthony getting a goal. Garf, what did you say?
2-1, brace from Rashi, from me.
James Dixon, have the final say. What do you think is going to be the score and who's going to score?
Going against what I said before about City not scoring away from home, I think it'll be 3-2 United. I think Rashford will get 2, Bruno will get 1, and Haaland will get a brace.
Wow. Wow.
Are the bookies even taking bets? Is the bookies even taking bets on Haaland scoring anymore? You know, I mean, what's that 1 to 3,000?
Yeah, I don't know if you know. Obviously, he's got like 21 goals in 15 games or something daft, even though he's not scored in his last 3. But when we played Charlton, we came up against quite a tall striker. And I don't know if you saw, Martinez dealt with him really well on the ground, but he got beat in the air a lot. And I just kind of think that Haaland, like as much as I love Martinez, I don't think he's back up to scratch yet after the World Cup. And I think Haaland could get some change out of Martinez tomorrow.
Yeah, true. Look, that's if he gets the chance. I think we need to cut it out at source. And hopefully we don't have to worry about that. 90 minutes is a long time to not let someone like him have a chance. So I guess he will get his goal. But hopefully we'll be up before that. This is one thing I expect to see. Again, Big Ben says still would rather Sancho. Garnacho is still very raw. You know what? I'd rather Garnacho, to be fair. He's on fire.
For me at the moment as well.
Exactly. But
if we're talking prime Dortmund Sancho, that's a different animal. You know what I mean? That's a real different animal. Yeah, but he ain't there at the moment. No.
Before that comes. But look, I'm looking forward to it. James, thanks for coming on the show. Garf as well. Everyone in the comments.
Pleasure as always, mate.
Really amazing. Look forward to seeing you guys after the game and hopefully with a big smile on our faces. So,
you there tomorrow, James? Sorry, Dave. You there?
Yeah, I am. So I'll be there early because there's a protest going on. Glazers out protest in the morning. And then I'll be watching the game. I'm actually going with Adam from United Stand, and then we'll be doing some stuff after the game. So hopefully we'll be happy. Like, might jump on a video call or something, but hopefully be happy. Well, you never know.
Hopefully. Let's go. Man United to win. Peace out, people.